Shout out to J&J.
So I just want to send a shout out to J&J Sports for having me once again.
This is, episodes, man. You guys got a real good thing going on.
So, I wanted this to be a happy farewell to DeMarcus Lawrence from the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. Although it turned a little bit salty, actually. Mm-hmm. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence, longtime Dallas Cowboy, mm-hmm. he's been with them since 2014, is going to the Seahawks. Mm-hmm. And he came out and said, he's not going to win a Super Bowl in Dallas. And in response, Micah Parsons posted to X, "This is what rejection and envy look like. This is some clown crap." Mm. And DeMarcus Lawrence came out and said, calling me a clown isn't going to change the fact that I told the truth. Mm. Maybe if he spent less time tweeting and more time winning, I wouldn't have left.
Oh.
What do you think is going on here?
Oh, man. It's a lot of shots getting thrown. It's personal. But I feel DL on this one. I mean, he's been there for that long and still hasn't. I mean, yes. I mean, it's the fact that he's been there that long is the blessing. That's 10 years. You know what I mean? So, that man wants a ring. So you can't. I feel like Parsons is out of pocket for sure.
It seems like there's a little bit of the old school versus new school going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because Parsons, he's in the public eye. He's, on sports shows. He has his own podcast. Mm. And, DeMarcus Lawrence, he's a little bit more old school, drafted in 2014, right. A long time before Parsons. And
he's been there, right. He has way more time and experience than Parsons. He shouldn't even be speaking about this because it's like, you haven't been there since 2014. So how can you tell this man how you want him to end his career?
And this has possibly been growing since the season because there was a game where they really weren't doing very well. And there's a soundbite that people can see online. Mm. And Parsons is going around telling everybody to do their job. And then he says it to Lawrence. And Lawrence looks at him and says, "You didn't do your job."
Right.
So that was definitely interesting to see.
Yeah, it's I don't know. There is something going on that was going on probably in the locker room. We don't know, but it's like they're not connected. You know what I mean? And that's not good for a defense.
Yeah, I know the concept of brotherhood has been talked about when it comes to the defense, the Cowboys' defensive line.
Yeah.
And people are saying this looks like the opposite of brotherhood. Mm-hmm. Although what was interesting was CeeDee Lamb had posted a picture just a few days back with, former Cowboy Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup. Mm-hmm. And no longer, both of them are no longer with the team. But,
yeah,
that has me wondering, is there more of a brotherhood on offense than defense?
I feel like I feel like back then the defense were way more closer. Like, because we didn't see it like the Ravens defense, the Steelers defense. I feel like now it's just kind of all over the place. So I would say right now, currently, not a lot of teams, no.
Yeah, and, headed to the Seahawks, and I'm probably going to have to find a new favorite Cowboys player, because that was my favorite. So
yeah.
There's Osa Odigizua, Micah Parsons maybe, but I don't know, I kind of like Sam Williams. I hope he bounces back from an injury. Mm-hmm. And then if we're going to take a look back at some good DeMarcus Lawrence memories, I'm going to start off with a memory from 2015 involving a confrontation between Lawrence and former NFL player Greg Hardy. Mm-hmm. And this is when Hardy was on the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And it seems like Dez Bryant almost started this whole thing. Mm-hmm. Have you heard the story?
No, I never heard it.
Yeah, Dez was screaming at Hardy, and the two of them were jawing. Dez was injured at the time, so he wasn't in pads. But you see them both arguing. And then later in the game, Greg Hardy slapped a special teams coach's clipboard out of the coach's hands after the other team got a special team touchdown.
Oh, man. Okay.
Is that a proper thing for a player to do to a coach?
No, it's definitely not. Even though I'm I know you're frustrated and you know what I mean. It gets emotional, personal, but you still got to handle things the right way. So yeah, we seen it. Players push their coach and this and that.
And, Dez wasn't in pads, so, there wasn't any kind of a physical confrontation, although Lawrence confronted Hardy at the time.
Yeah.
And, Lawrence got shoved by Hardy, and what I loved is Lawrence shoved him right back. And it was right there on TV.
I mean, yeah, you can't do that to coach, especially on national TV. I could see it was somewhere, on the side, somewhere, but everybody could see that. So it's like, they like, oh man, you don't have any respect for your coach. So it's like, yeah.
And Lawrence, he was a younger player, just in his second year in the league. Hardy, an established veteran.
Wow.
And he became my favorite player right when I saw him shoving him back.
Yeah.
What does that say about D-Law shoving Hardy back?
It's showing leadership. Definitely showing, like, hey, he's for what's right. And I feel like a lot of players should kind of have that initiative like he had. So, yeah.
Yeah, it almost makes you wonder if it's something similar to what was going on with him and Parsons.
Yeah, definitely.
So, he was hurt most of this last year. He had only played in 4 games, but his stats were 14 tackles, 7 solo, 3 sacks, and his very best year came in 2017 with 14 and a half sacks. But he was also an excellent run stopper.
Oh, yeah.
Would you have wanted DeMarcus Lawrence on the Saints?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Especially when we had Drew Brees and them times we had them certain quarterbacks. Before Derek Carr and all these people. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember back in 2017, Cowboys owner Jerry Jones said that he wanted a war daddy. And I feel like that's what he got in Lawrence.
Yeah, definitely.
Forcing fumbles, getting sacks.
I mean, in only 4 games, 14 sacks, that's a lot.
And, stuffing running backs, too.
Yeah.
So do you think it's fortunate that it was his contract year when he put on that big show?
Yeah, I mean, no, it wasn't fortunate. I mean, you getting the money for, like, okay, I got the money, now it's time to show them who I am. So, yeah.
What do you think Jerry Jones means by war daddy?
War daddy. I don't know. It sounds kind of funny, but definitely, I'm guessing I would say just somebody who can, be tough and on the field and just make things happen.
A leader, things like that. And Dallas, I mean, I know they franchised Lawrence in 2018, and they were going to franchise him again, but he put off shoulder surgery and said, like, I'm not going to do anything until I get a new contract.
Right.
And they gave him like $100 million contract over something like 5 years.
Yeah.
And then they wanted to cut his money down, which it was one of those things. And Stephen Jones, the Cowboys vice president, was saying, hey, we gave you $65 million. And he said, gave me? I earned that money.
Right.
So the Cowboys were kind of playing games with them. I would have loved for him to stay on the Cowboys, but it was time for him to leave. And I understand.
Yeah.
Seattle gave him $18 million guaranteed, $42 million over 3 years, and he's 33 now. Do you think he's going to retire a Seahawk?
Yeah, I can see him staying there. I'm happy for him, man. Like I said, this Seahawks team is rebuilding right now. He can definitely help that defense, and then we'll see who's going to be the quarterback, because there's a lot of trades, a lot of stuff going on. So, yeah.
And his lone touchdown came in 2021, and it was a 60 to 70 yard after a tip and grab, and he actually looked like a running back out there.
Yeah.
Is it difficult for D linemen to score touchdowns?
Yeah, it's very rare, probably once in a lifetime, but I feel like it just depends on. They be reading that quarterback. So if you throw real close, if you throw a lot of shotguns, they're like, oh, nah, we on that. Boom.
Yeah, I feel like he single-handedly won a Monday Night Football for the Cowboys in 2015 when they beat Washington. He got 8 sacks throughout that whole season.
Yeah.
But is that pretty impressive for a year 2 player?
It is. It is. I mean, over 5 sacks is impressive because it's like you're a rookie. You finding yourself, you finding your game, but you having these numbers early, he was going to be a legend.
And then I have to say, this is probably my very favorite, most fondest memory of Lawrence.
Yeah.
There was a back and forth with between Lawrence and then Eagles coach Doug Peterson, who in 2019 said, "We're going to go to Dallas and we're going to leave leaders of the NFC East." Pretty much saying we're going to go in and beat Dallas. Yeah. Do you think it can be risky to say this to the media before big games?
Yeah, I feel like that should be conversation between you and your team. I feel like you kind of jinx it when you speaking too much about, just do the work. So.
Yeah, and this was my favorite part about it was Lawrence's reply after he heard the quote from the coach. Yeah. And he said, "Can he play the game? Well, then he better just sit his rear on the sidelines." and we cleaned up the language there for our loyal viewers.
Right, yeah.
But I love that because it was him not backing down from the coach,
right.
Not and he actually left the game with a sack and forced fumble. What do you think about Lawrence's reply to the coach?
Like I said, well respected. I don't see any, well deserved. Yeah, the coach, you're not playing, man. You definitely need to keep your mouth shut. We've seen instances where, what was that situation with the Eagles? Somebody shoved the Eagles coach. Like, the Eagles just have to chill. Like, the coaching staff has to chill. They're too aggressive. You have to chill. Because you're still players. There's no security covering you guys. So if they feeling mad, they might want to come on your side. Hey, man, what's up? So it's, yeah.
So I just want to say, farewell, DeMarcus.
Yeah.
We wish you the best of luck in Seattle.
Absolutely.
But not too much. Go easy on the Saints and the Cowboys for
us.
us.
Please, man. Please on the Saints, man. We, yeah, but yeah.
You'll be greatly missed in Dallas. And y'all, please let us know in the comments what you think about DeMarcus going from Dallas to Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle. Can y'all get him a ring, please? For sure.
And yep, that's about it.
Yes, okay, cool. All right, you guys, that's enough for our Sports Today, episode 99. We appreciate you guys. Like always, we're gonna serve you guys with the best sports, man. We are one episode away, and I just want to say, man, James, thank you, brother, for 2 years of great work, man. And we just starting, you guys. We just starting. James, how you feel, man?
I feel great. The past 2 years have gone by really quickly, and thank you. This has been so much fun.
Yeah,
so
man.
Far. And also, thank y'all to the fans too for y'all's support.
Yeah, man. From rocking us since UHDI Radio to Band Bears to wherever else we might end up, you guys. But we're here to stay as far as that, man. We got some major guests coming. We got a lot of stuff in store for you guys. So we're here to stay, man. But as always, I'm Jamar McKeel.
I'm James Sherwood.
And y'all just got served with J&J Sports, episode 99. See y'all in 100. Peace.
J Sports.
Coming to y'all live in 2025.